Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Cristiano Ronaldo admits he will put pressure on Solskjaer to start him against Newcastle. Earlier on this week, he said Ronaldo's debut could have been delayed because Ronaldo had to isolate for 5 days. Yesterday, Cristiano Ronaldo was spotted at Old Trafford in leaked photos. And on Wednesday, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United's training ground in his 170,000 Lamborghini. Cristiano Ronaldo has hinted that he's looking to stay at Manchester United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract with Manchester United with an option of a further year. Ronaldo will receive £480,000 a week, so reflecting on that, he'll be the highest earner at Old Trafford. Manchester United agreed a fee of €15 million. There's a further €8 million in add-ons, so that's €23 million in total. That equates to £19.8 million in pounds sterling. And the other week, Cristiano Ronaldo completed his medical. I can assure Ronaldo's going to do very well in his second spell, despite him being the age of 36. Ronaldo is Manchester United's new number 7. The other week, Cristiano Ronaldo praised Edinson Cavani's incredible gesture after shirt number swap. Cavani has got the number 21 shirt. After the 1-0 win against Wolves before the international break, Solskjaer confirmed that Ronaldo will play as a centre forward. Ronaldo gave his first interview the other week after re-signing. He says, "I'm very happy to be back home after 12 years. Ronaldo made it clear to Solskjaer that he's returned to win trophies. Ronaldo told his new Man United teammates that he wants the Premier League this season." The other week, Ronaldo became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. But Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. In Ronaldo's first spell at Man United, he endured 6 years. He scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. He won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FIFA Club World Cup, the FA Cup and 2 League Cups. When we first got Ronaldo, we paid £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. Sold him to Real Madrid in 2009 for £80 million. He endured 10 years or so with Real Madrid, so he was a long-serving player for them. And Juventus got him in 2018 for £88 million. He endured 3 years with Juventus. His current contract at Juventus was due to expire next year. But Ronaldo was our final signing of the summer transfer window. Recently, I gave you the news on Declan Rice from West Ham. Declan Rice is likely to leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. Solskjaer is confident on Declan Rice transfer. Manchester United identified Declan Rice as the number one midfield transfer target for next summer. I think Declan Rice's price tag is 100 million. 100 million is too much for Rice. When the summer transfer window was open, it did mention that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Declan Rice, and Declan Rice did mention that he was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. He's rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. Rice has got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. When the summer transfer window was open, we went in for quite a few midfielders. Not only Declan Rice, we went in for Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Obviously we didn't get him because he joined Chelsea on loan. We went in for Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes, but didn't get him because he signed for Real Madrid. We also went in for Ruben Neves from Wolves because Fabrizio Romano did mention on deadline day that Ruben Neves was the only midfield option for Man United, but he mentioned there was no current agreement with Wolves. But you know what? Manchester United did enjoy a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. So in the summer transfer window, we spent around 140 million. And Solskjaer did receive the backing he deserved. Surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, had backed him, only because they'd been persuaded to. Because towards the end of last season, a lot of United fans protested against the Glazers at Old Trafford. And Carrington, because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. But towards the end of last season, Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. The reason the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Man United in so much debt. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years, so they've been with us since 2005. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. John Murtough also backed Ole in the summer transfer window. John Murtough is our director of football. And Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed Ole, and we made the right decision recommending him back in. Darren Fletcher endured 2 decades as a player for Man United, raising up our academy in that. Woodward, he has said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer, and when was enduring them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, because obviously he was accountable for how poor our recruitment was for so long, plus we've overpaid for players in recent years. Woodward should have never been put into that position in the first place where he makes the footballing decisions. Woodward is leaving Man United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. Sky Sports News said not so long ago that Man United are close to appointing Richard Arnold as Ed Woodward's successor as the new chief executive. An announcement should be made in the next couple of weeks. As United fans that have got reservations about Richard Arnold. In the summer transfer window, we only managed to sell one player, and that was Daniel James. So it was disappointing that we didn't manage to sell more players. And we didn't sign a midfielder. That was very disappointing. I'm expecting Manchester United to offload players in January. I'm also expecting us to offload players next summer. Now, the players that need to go next year, I think we definitely need to sell Anthony Martial, because he isn't good enough to represent the club. Don't forget, on deadline day, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan. But before the start of the season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial because he remains part of his plans. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he receives £200,000 a week. He scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions, and we got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. He's had 2 good seasons at Man United. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Juan Mata, I think we need to offload him next year. I'm expecting him to leave at the end of this season when his contract expires. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. Mata doesn't get in our 11. He's ageing up and he has lost that yard of pace. At the first part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Mata has had a good career at Man United though. He's been with us for like 7 years now. Got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Edinson Cavani, I'm expecting him to leave at the end of this season. To be honest with you, I don't really want him to leave because he has made an impact since he's come in. But he's going to find it hard to get in the team now, with us obviously re-signing Ronaldo. Don't forget, on deadline day, Barcelona inquired about signing Edinson Cavani. It did mention that Barcelona were in advanced talks, but Fabrizio Romano came out and said that, Cavani would not join Barcelona and he's not leaving Man United in the final hours of the transfer market. Back in May, Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension and he receives £250,000 a week. I think we need to offload Donny van de Beek next year if he's not given enough game time by next year. Earlier on in the summer, Donny van de Beek was subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Now, Donny van de Beek, earlier on this week, spoke about his future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. Van de Beek admitted that he's prepared to keep fighting to earn his place in the Man United team and to remain in the plans of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Van de Beek has already told Solskjaer his best position. Van de Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as the number 6 or the number 8. Now, earlier on this week, Van de Beek's agent did a lot of talking. He confirmed that the player held talks with Everton over the move. He also did mention that the return of Ronaldo is bad news for Van de Beek, and his agent fired a warning shot to Man United saying play him in the Premier League or lose him. And the other week, Van de Beek's agent said that Van de Beek will succeed at Man United and prove his doubters wrong at Man United this season. Solskjaer rejected Donny van de Beek's exit because it did mention that Everton were close to signing him on loan. This is Van de Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van de Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. But I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United, but in general he's a good player. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax with add-ons included, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2025. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Matic, I want us to offload him next year because he isn't good enough to represent the club, and I've got my reservations about Matic. Always been a static player, plus he's ageing up, and he's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that he still seems to get his chances. He's definitely ahead of Van de Beek in that midfield, and he shouldn't be. We got Matic in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Was it before the start of last season? Matic signed a new 3-year contract. Fred, I think we need to offload him next year because he isn't good enough to represent the club. As you all know, Fred is banned from our next 2 games, so he won't be playing against Newcastle on Saturday, and he won't be playing against Young Boys in the Champions League next week. So I said, with Fred being banned, Van de Beek has to start tomorrow against Newcastle. He really does. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. We've also got to offload Phil Jones next year. I thought we would have offloaded him in the summer transfer window, but we didn't. It did say though that Phil Jones is set to stay at Man United this season, as Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. Jones made his comeback from injury in that behind closed doors game against Burnley. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. He's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. Diego Dalot, I want us to offload him next year as well. We should have offloaded him in this year's summer transfer window, but we didn't. Diego Dalot is our second choice right back. Isn't he? Jesse Lingard, he's another player I want us to offload next year. I'm expecting him to leave next year. It was disappointing that he didn't go in the summer transfer window. I recently given the news on Lingard. Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns, despite him being in the last year of his deal. Lingard snubbed a return to West Ham in the summer. Last season, Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. But earlier on this season, Solskjaer confirmed that Lingard remains part of his plans, despite that ongoing speculation. At one point, Lingard had COVID. Towards the end of the summer transfer window, though, it said that West Ham were preparing a £15 million bid for Lingard, and Everton were preparing an offer. So there you go. But we've loaned quite a few players out. The players that we loaned out in the summer transfer window were Brandon Williams. We loaned Tahith Chong out. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out. We loaned Andres Pereira out. We loaned Ethan Laird out. And we loaned Axel Tuanzebe out. Now, so far this season, we have registered 7 points from our first 3 league games. So we've won 2 and we've drawn 1. And we are sitting 3rd in the Premier League at the moment. I'm expecting Manchester United to endure a very good season. Hopefully this season we'll have a better season than we did last season. Man United have a title winning squad, like I've said, So the time for excuses is over. Solskjaer has told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. What a remarkable achievement it would be if we was to win the Premier League this season. Then definitely my perceptions would change on Solskjaer. Solskjaer privately views Chelsea as Man United's biggest title rival this season, ahead of Liverpool and Manchester City. Got to agree with Ole on that aspect. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer talked up Man United's title hopes. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. This is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager, and he is aware how big this season is for him. Ole has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. He's managed 100 games in the Premier League. Solskjaer has been in charge of Man United now for almost 3 years. Reflecting how long he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. Ole has no proven pedigree as a manager. That's one of my concerns, and my big concern about Ole is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And I definitely think we made a mistake giving him that new contract. Maybe we should have waited until the midway part of this season, or maybe the end of this season, to decide or not whether to give him the new contract. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him, because at the end of the day he's a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. You know what though, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. Really am shocked, because he's inheriting a lot of deadwood. Now Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has signed 14 players, and he's endured 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager, and spent around 441 million in total. So in the summer of 2019, Ole recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. Back in January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Ighalo in on loan, but we let Ighalo go in January. In the summer of 2020, Ole recommended Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri, with loan Pellistri out in the summer transfer window. In the summer of 2020, we got 4 of those players on deadline day, and in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. The players he has got rid of permanently, obviously sold Daniel James in the summer transfer window of this year. We got 25 million for him. Ole released Romero and Pereira. Was it back in January? We sold Fossa Mensah and Marcus Rojo. He's let a lot of other players go permanently, let Young go, let Valencia go, let Smalling go, and that trio were long-serving players at the club. Also let Darmian go, let Fellaini go back in January 2019, let Angel Gomez go, let Herrera go, let Lukaku go, and let Alexis Sanchez go. And also let Odin Igalo go. Like I said, he's loaned quite a few players out. You can see progress has been made under Ollie, without a shadow of a doubt, because he's got us to semi-finals. You know, last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that Europa League final was his first major final as Man United manager. Also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. So there, and last season got us a second place finish, and his first full season got us a third place finish. And I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Has a lot of trustworthy in his young players. Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he surely would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. So they are a lot of the things you've got to credit him for. I have criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, but I've had my reasons behind it. But despite that, I reckon he is our best manager since Ferguson. 1 o'clock today, Solskjaer is doing his press conference ahead of the game against Newcastle tomorrow. I will be on for that. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.